about. We don't have a certain topic like we had with LeBron James versus Michael Jordan or whatever. But this is what we talk about. And what we really want to talk about right now is we talk about the elections that just happened yesterday. And my man Pharaoh King, if you didn't watch it, he had a perfect point. So we're gonna start with Pharaoh, and then we're gonna go to the professor, and then we're gonna go to my main man, Tim Dahl from B More. What you were saying, King, earlier?
So education is a big must in understanding and knowing your local government. Go to your town hall meetings. Therefore, go see your congressman when they come into the area. At least get an idea of what's happening because I'll tell you in this area, I know for a fact that what's his name, the district guy, the congressman, Rick Allen.
Oh, Rick Allen.
Rick
Yeah.
Allen, yeah, Rick Allen is worth $14 million. I ain't got $14 million. How the hell is he representing me?
Mm,
Please enlighten me.
I got
So they're career politicians sitting up there now on Capitol Hill when Congressman was supposed to be your local guy that's sitting in the barbershop or
you.
have a little store down the street or wherever the case
Mm-hmm.
is, mingling along with you. And then once a month, he would take his ass or take her ass up to the Capitol Hill, talk about what's going on in your community. That doesn't happen
Yes.
anymore,
Okay.
right?
No,
So with
no.
that being said, it's important for us to be sitting out here talking to our local politicians and make sure that those people are invested in our interests. I'm talking about everybody. Like make sure that your kids are going to a decent school. Stop sitting there trying to keep it real. There's only two types of people: educated and uneducated. So don't let
Mm,
anybody sit there and tell you that you speak a certain way or you act a certain way simply because they don't understand you. So
okay.
that's my spiel, and I'm done.
Okay. Hey, Professor, what you got to say?
Yeah, man. See, that's one of the things I always talk about is career politicians who just go in knowing that they're only there to line their pockets. They're only there for name recognition. They're only there to get their next selected job. And we have a
That's
person
right.
like that here that they just elected as governor. I can't John King, not John Kennedy. I can't even remember this dude, Jeff Landry. I'm sorry. He's been
Hmm.
elected to position after position after position after position for the last 20 years. And he's just steadily moving up the ladder. And the
Mm,
thing of it is, people vote for this cat because he has name recognition.
mm,
That's one the saddest thing in the world is is that nowadays people get voted on by cult of personality rather than what their stands on the issue is. Like
mm,
you
Hmm.
have Foghorn. I like to call John Kennedy Foghorn Leghorn because that's how he tries to sound, so that you forget that this man went to Yale on a damn scholarship and is one of the most educated people in as a senator that you ever meet.
mm,
He's right there with Barack Obama, but he wants to sit there and talk down to people like he knows absolutely nothing to keep the
mm,
people voting for him so that they vote for him so he can vote against their own best interests, which is the saddest shit in the world to me. And
mm,
that's what you talk about, King, about the uneducated versus non-educated. Non-educated people will vote for people who don't care about them and will completely vote against the thing that they need the most. It's why states like
Man,
Mississippi,
hell
like
yeah.
Louisiana, like Alabama are the three poorest states in the damn country because they keep voting the same goddamn people in office over and over.
Hmm.
mm. Tim Dahl, what you got to say?
That is facts.
Yeah, I agree with the professor. I agree with Farrell. And even the uneducated should get educated about who they putting in office
Mm-hmm.
because we don't want any more Marjorie Greens or the female that went to the movie theater vaping talking about, do you know who I am?
Lauren Boebert.
What's the name? Oh yeah.
Lauren Boebert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people like that, their only agenda is their agenda. It's not
Mm-hmm.
yours. They talk the game to get in. Then once they get in, they forget about you and start focusing on them.
Man, they never
Hey,
really
I
cared
really,
about you.
mm-mm, mm-mm.
and
They
this
never really
this
cared about you.
uh,
Before you start, Man Street,
go
the
ahead. Go
thing
ahead.
that I have a problem with is talking to the young African Americans or Black people. How you want to say what you are, and they say my vote is going to count. They've already
Oh,
negated the
Mm-hmm.
opportunity to
Mhm.
go and have a voice or have something to say. But then they're the ones that's complaining when something happens, right? Or they're the ones talking about how they're being treated or what's going on around them. But you had an
Yep.
opportunity to make a change. You had opportunity. And then there's too many people that we have left behind that can't vote or don't have an opportunity to vote that we have to get to the polls. A lot of people don't see that because why? They were sitting there trying to do voter suppression, but we lucky that we live in an area where they have no choice but to have a bunch of pollings. And that's one of the
Yeah,
reasons I moved here. Is so
yeah.
I have that opportunity. So
And and
yeah,
and,
it just
and,
sucks,
and,
man.
and I totally agree with you, Pharaoh King. Tim Dolphin, B More, and Professor, man, hey, you got to come back next week because you kicking that knowledge. And this is up my vein right here. I like to talk about politics. A lot of people, like I said, I
Mm-hmm.
don't care who you vote for. I really don't care who you vote for. Who you think is going to make a change for you. But if you
Mhm.
don't vote in your local election, you already lost. You already lost the game, and that's just my personal opinion. And the reason why I say that is because the mayor he decides in your town what's going to happen,
Mm-hmm.
not
Yeah.
the people up in Congress, not the people up in the Senate, not the president. It's the people in your area. So the mayor and the councilmen, those are the people that
City council
affects you.
people. Hmm.
That's right. They are the one that affect you. So if you don't get out there and vote, you don't have nobody to blame but yourself. And then just like Pharaoh King said, if you don't vote, you just gave your vote to the other person that doesn't have your interest in the first place.
Mhm.
And I did a video on my other podcast. I'm gonna shout my podcast out here. Make sure you subscribe to the Audacity podcast featuring who the man on the street. Now back to what we was talking about. Um, I did a video on the Senate and the House of Representatives. I truly
You need to play a
believe
clip.
I truly believe there should be a term limit. Just like the president can only do 8 years, they can only do 8 years, and after 8 years, they can't be the president no more. I believe that congressmen and the Senate should have a term limit.
Yeah.
Strong
For
term in
me,
law.
yeah, for me, this is how I look at it. As a congressman, you can only do 10 years. As a senator, you can only do 12 years. After those 12 years, you're done. Because
Well,
those are the same people that's keep, like Pharaoh said earlier, like the professor said earlier, and Tim Dog even said it too. They get reelected and elected every year after year, and they're not changed. You have to have fresh blood up there that could make a change. So
well,
that's just my opinion. Just like the
I agree
president
with
has
you.
8 years and he can't run no more. The Senate, 12 years, Congressman, 10 years. After those 10 and 12 years, you're done. You're
Called the
done.
and
Feinstein
you
law.
know what else needs to
Yes.
happen with that is it needs to go back to the system that Gerald Ford signed into law right after the Watergate incident with Nixon, where
Mm-hmm.
you do so much. Like you can only take so much money from lobbyists in politics because that's the biggest issue right now is the money that's being funneled into the political system, which is what's
Hey,
keeping
Professor,
people in.
Professor, I'm going to cut you off,
That
but you
is
just
not
said
happening.
you just said a great point. The lobbyists. Keep going, Professor. You just hit a nerve with me. The lobbyists. Keep going. I'm sorry. You
See, the
you, you hit
lobbyists
something with me.
issue, and because
Hmm.
there's no law that prevents a politician from becoming a goddamn lobbyist when they're not
Right,
elected
right, right.
anymore, which is a huge issue because they know the back roads, they know the inroads, they know everything to get everything done and where to funnel money over here and to take it away from this area that needs the money. And
Who's
right, like I
over in New
said,
Jersey?
I don't remember the exactly. I don't remember the name of the law that was signed by Gerald Ford after in 73 or 74 after the Watergate incident.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, but that only
Republicans
lasted for
next
so
fucking
long. I
day.
don't think they're doing it anymore.
That they don't
They
because the day after Gerald Ford signed the shit into law, the Republicans went to the courts to get rid of it.
yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you this.
Okay.
Y'all remember before you say Pharaoh? No,
No,
hold on,
no.
Pharaoh.
I'm doing.
I'm gonna ask you this quick question right here. Remember, remember the debate? It was um, it was Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. They was both the nominee. Hillary Clinton for the Democrats. Donald
Right.
Trump was the nominee for the Republicans. And Hillary Clinton said that Donald Trump didn't even pay his taxes. And what did Donald
Right.
Trump say? What
I'm
this is?
that
This why I know Donald Trump is a gangster. And I'm not advocating for Donald Trump. I'm not advocating for any. But Donald Trump said he said this. The reason why I get all these tax loops is because the way that the tax code is written.
Yes,
If you don't want me to get those tax breaks, change the laws.
that's it.
That's the most
He changed the
gangster's answer.
laws.
That's the
well,
most gangster's answer that I ever heard about because he's using the laws that are in place to get those tax breaks that me and you don't get. He's
That's
using
why he
those
in court
laws
right
No,
now,
to
because he didn't
he
broke that law.
he's using those laws to his advantage. So we electing these people to go represent us in Congress, in the Senate, but like the professor said, once they get there, they get with these lobbyists, and the lobbyists get in their ear, and they're putting money in their campaign and also putting money in their pockets. They forget about the small guy, and they're doing what the lobbyists said. And that's just my take on the political system.
no. Well, so what the professor here is called the Lobbying Act of 1946. It's a statute enacted by the United States Congress to reduce the influence of lobbyists. What he was saying, and with that being said, what you're talking about. Also, you have those few states that they have to win in order to be, what you call that, where they can
the
be.
electoral college.
Was that no, not the electoral college. The ones the states that they have to win in order to become the person that could run for the president. Um,
Oh, the
that's
Caucus.
it. Yeah.
caucuses. The caucuses.
No, the caucuses is where they do their was where
That's
they
the
do
voting.
their speech. They would become the
No,
representative, but they can be represented
Iowa
or they can get.
caucus is the early votes to be the nominee. They're called the
Yeah, the
caucuses.
nominee, like I said. So yeah. So we talking about those power states. I think that's something else that needs to be changed. On
I agree
top
with you.
of, on
No,
top
it
of,
is.
to be a senator, you could be 25 years old to become a senator, right? And I know this is time. This is ages from back in the day where you didn't have the mortality rate as high as it is now. And then president is 35. They keep electing or putting these nominees in that happen to be people that have been around a while,
Mm-hmm.
right? Why are we voting for senior citizens,
Yeah.
right?
Um,
Those
Hey,
people
hey,
have none of our ideas of interest in anything
hey,
that's going on.
let me say this before Professor said what you got to say. I'm from South Carolina. The longest tenured senator from South Carolina was a
Strom Thurmond.
segregationist, Strom Thurmond.
That's
mm-hmm.
right.
Strom Thurmond was the longest serving senator from the state of South Carolina,
And what
and
was
he
he
be
known for?
no he's known for
Nigga nigga.
No, but I'm
no.
to say, what was he famously known for?
Well,
Hanging
King, you
nigga.
got me on that one.
The longest filibuster in
Mm-hmm.
in political history.
Okay, but all I know is he
That's
was a
it.
segregationist that says that black and white should never intertwine. But he
And
was
he
the
has a big
longest
job.
serving senator from the state of South Carolina.
That's right.
And you know he has a black shot.
And I mean racist to the core, racist to the core.
Mm-hmm.
But we keep and I'll be the first one to say this. And y'all say this earlier. You know, I applaud you, Pharaoh. I applaud you, Tim Dog. I applaud you, the professor. Y'all got out there and y'all started voting early. I didn't do that. I I'll be the first one to say that. I didn't start voting till years later in life because I was one of the ignorant people that we are talking about that didn't care about my vote didn't count. And like I said before, it took me to learn to teach myself that my vote does count. Whether my person win or they lose, at least I made my voice heard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I made my voice heard, but my
It's
person
better
didn't
late
win.
than never.
Okay, better late than never. So I
My
applaud y'all
neighbor
brothers
told
for
me.
doing what y'all did. Hey, but I
But for
applaud
my
y'all.
eight,
So
for my
But you
I
better
was late. I
understand.
was late to the party. But then to come to find out, this is the crazy thing that with Strom Thurmond that I found out. They come to find out that he had a black daughter.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
He was preaching.
I didn't say that.
He was preaching
Yes.
that the races shouldn't intermingle. But then he was going out there,
Well, it's
I
just
Hey,
like the
just said
hey,
Republicans who
that.
I was
talk
going to
about
mention
gay
that
people and
when
turn
you
out to
got
be
done.
gay.
When you got
huh?
done, I was going to mention what you just said.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was
I
going to mention
already
that.
mentioned it.
But then, after he died. See, this is the thing. After
He
he
died in
died,
office.
yeah. After he died, then they brought his black daughter, and she said, "Yeah, that's my father," and she looked just like them. She
Hmm.
not to change subject here, but
No, no,
I
because
got to get.
she
Let
that
me
got
say this.
recognized
No,
before
you
he
saying
died.
the hypocrisy of what's happening.
And this I got to say this. I'm gonna say this. Then we'll get back to politics. Just like with Bill Cosby, right? Bill Cosby, we don't condone nothing but allegedly that he did, right? But everybody came out the woodworks and they was talking about him this and that, right? Right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
especially on the Cosby show.
But then, but then, but then, what's my man used to do on Playboy? Hugh Hefner.
Hugh Hefner.
Hugh Hefner was the big with Playboy, right? You never
yes,
heard
sir.
nothing, right?
No, he invented Playboy.
All right, but as soon as he died, I don't know
You
if
hear
y'all
all of
watched
his
the
sexual
y'all. I
proclivities.
don't know if y'all watched the E, but then it came out a documentary of how nasty he was and how he treated women.
Hmm.
And,
Hmm.
to me, I was like, where was these people? Just like with Bill Cosby, they want to come out
Yeah,
now. Where were you when Hugh Hefner was alive? Why
Yeah,
weren't y'all saying this when he was alive?
Because he was getting
So
that money.
because
so they waited for him to die.
yeah,
Same thing with Strom Thurmond. They waited for him to die. Now they're gonna talk about him in a negative way. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm
no, you're
saying?
saying it because those people needed those jackasses to boost their careers. And
Okay.
while they was alive, knowing that they was pieces of shit, it still helped them get to the level of where they wanted to
hmm
be.
Mm.
Michael Jordan.
With that being said, the most recent one with the Ron Jeremy, the hedgehog of
Oh
porn,
yeah. Yeah,
that guy.
porn. Yeah. Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, after all those films,
Yeah.
thousands of fucking films and women over time, he's now a rapist, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, he's sexually
Yeah.
assaulted women.
Yeah. Yeah.
Motherfuckers,
Yeah.
that's the job y'all was in.
Yeah. I got you.
So,
I got you.
people are gonna use you till they get to where they need to be. Then all of a sudden, you're a piece of shit.
I
yeah.
got you. Professor, what you got to say, Professor?
I was gonna say, I agree completely with you about the term limits for senators and Congress people, and I'll add the damn Supreme Court to that title too.
Woo! Boy, you
Hey,
set it
And it's
off right there,
funny.
boy.
It's hilarious to me that every federal judge has ethics they have to follow, but the fucking Supreme Court don't have to. The authority of
Man.
the land don't have ethic rules that applies to them the way it applies to people under them. I
I'm
mean,
gonna
come
About to
on.
piggyback
apply
off of
right
that.
now
hey,
for one.
hey,
No,
hey,
I'm gonna
hey, hey,
piggyback off
About to
that.
apply
hey,
for
hey,
But
hold,
before you
hey,
say that,
hey,
no,
hey, hey,
before
hold
Tim
on,
speak, hold on.
hold on, cause Tim Dog got to say something. We go to you, Pharaoh. But let me
Okay.
say this. Hey, Professor,
Yes,
make
sir.
sure you subscribe to the Audacity podcast because I talked about that on my Audacity podcast.
I will
I
do
said
so.
it.
You know
I
I'm
said
gonna do.
everything that you just said. So make sure you subscribe to that. Yeah, I'm shamelessly plugging my goddamn podcast because I do talk about politics on that. So make sure you subscribe to that, and then you can see what the man on the street is talking about. Go ahead, Tim Dog. Then we come back to
Yeah.
you on Pharaoh.
All right.
Hey, everyone knows how he plugs his stuff. Supreme Court, he was talking about the ethics. They're supposed to police themselves, but as we can see, Mr. Roberts is turning a blind eye to his buddy. But now all that is about to catch up with him. Um, the Senate, they should, well, they are, well, someone's investigating what's going on with um, the justice and all those perks he's been getting. That's what he calls them. Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, that was this and that. Integrity as a Supreme Court justice is important. The letter of the law is important. Anyone thinks that the justice could be paid off or persuaded by someone who's giving them something, that
Mm-hmm.
alone should be, with the ethics committee investigating it. But they're not because it's one of their own, of course.
Yeah.
But And that's what the ethics committee is for, regardless of
Exactly.
Republican or Democrat.
But the ethics committee don't even investigate themselves.
No, they're supposed to.
Right.
There was a
Right.
Marjorie
It's
Green.
almost like you're supposed to have internal affairs with the internal affairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, internal affairs with the police is doing the robberies.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's sad, and the problem, like I said, it's my issue. My biggest issue with politics, and the older I got, the more I realized it, is the money that's in politics. And thanks to Ted Cruz, who went to the Supreme Court to argue for People United to have PACs, super PACs, and PACs, and corporations looked at as a single entity, as a person, so that they can donate as much money to whatever cause they saw fit and put money into the pockets of whatever politician they saw fit. And one other thing about the money when it comes to politics and the Congress, how do these assholes get stock trading tips inside, can commit insider trading legally while they're in the Senate and while they're in Congress, and that's not illegal. That's not illegal. And if you bring it up to them to try to get rid of it, they table the discussion so that it won't happen. It's happened the last 3 times when a congressperson has tried to bring it up to get rid of insider trading, and 2 of the times was shot down by Miss Pelosi.
Right.
I mean, it's pathetic. I almost want to get elected so I can break some goddamn laws and get away with it. Get me some generational wealth in this piece.
Man, I tell you.
Yeah, I learned
So we can talk
politics
about
at a
this all
young
day.
age. My neighbor took me to get registered to vote and get a application for a visa on my 18th birthday. I'll never forget.
Mm.
Yeah, she said, make sure you vote because you can't complain about things if they're wrong if you didn't put into it to make it right.
Yep.
Well, I have a Black Panther father, so he has always been adamant about education and making sure you
Yeah.
know your rights.
Your
So,
You sound
dad is. Your
with that
dad
being
knows that.
said, I passed that same, you know, that same education, that same knowledge to my two, and of course my extended daughter, I give them the same, spill,
advice.
whatever it is. But they young people today don't care to know anything
No.
about what's going on until they get to college. If they go to college, then they're voting on the wrong things because they're too busy sitting around there looking at what's happening instead of knowing what's happening. If you notice, there's a lot of people that go by hearsay when they go vote. They don't
Mm-hmm.
spend the time to investigate and research the politician that they're voting for because they're too
Whoa,
busy
whoa.
getting hornswoggled by the people around them. They just want to be part of the group, you know.
Man, you heard
And,
what I
and,
Yeah.
and
said
you hear
earlier.
that
Rewind that
so
tape.
often. Was that?
I said that earlier. Rewind that tape.
Me ask you this though.
Yeah,
Me ask.
yeah.
No,
I'm
So
asked
I
the.
said people need to, investigate the people that they trying to vote, get knowledge of the person. That
yeah,
they
you got
trying
to
to
research them. You got to know who the
Yeah.
hell they are, man.
You
I
can't
got
just
you.
go up
I
there
got you.
blindly.
The man on the street. I always got to bring. always got to push back, and I always got to say something that's going to be like. But I'm gonna ask y'all this, and be. I want your honest opinion. Honest opinion.
That's all I do.
When Barack Obama ran for president,
Hmm.
did you vote for him because of his politics, or did you vote for him because he was black?
I'm gonna say
Both.
Hold on now, hold on. I'm because I'm gonna go to the professor first, Tim Dog, you second, and then let's go to Pharaoh King. So, Professor,
Right.
what you got to say?
Well, my thing is, I was going to vote for him because of his politics, because of the things he said, not the things he eventually did and didn't do, but because of the things that he said was why I was listening to him and was going to
Mhm.
vote and was voting for him. And then I decided I was going to vote for him because he was black, because I hear all these white people say, "Well, I ain't voting for his black ass." Are you shitting me? Are you
And they
shitting me?
wind up doing it.
Hey man,
Exactly.
hey man,
Reason-
like you say, Hey, keep it real, dog. Keep it
And
real.
Yeah.
I voted for him because he was black, because people voted for him, didn't want to vote for him because he was black. So I'm like, you know what? I'm
Okay.
gonna let that blackness in me vote for this black man. Damn that. I don't care. I don't give a damn if he said he wanted to kill babies. Go ahead, my man. You got my
Yeah.
vote. Shit.
Tim Dolphin B-Ball, what you got to say?
I voted because he was black. He was young. He was cocky. His wife was there, and it was it was like one of those revivals. Oh yeah, boo la boo chalole. Get back at that.
Trigger finger.
This
You think I'm
joker
joking?
here, man.
What was that movie? Ale Boombaye.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
guy here, man.
I know.
Hey,
I know.
I'm telling the truth, keeping it real.
Yeah, I
Keeping
get
it
you.
real.
I got
I get you.
Pharaoh, what you say, Pharaoh?
So I had a couple points. One major point was he taught constitutional law. To
Mm-hmm.
me, there's nobody else that could say they know the Constitution and was in
His
office.
mama wanted him to be a Supreme Court justice. I
Okay,
mean, his grandmother
what?
wanted him to be a
Okay,
Supreme
once
Court
again,
justice.
that is one of the
Hmm.
top points of his resume. I'm like, this Joker, like they
Yeah.
can't come in here and tell him some shit when he's teaching the shit,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Two, he's black, got to do it. But young white America put him in office because they
Yeah.
Yep.
wanted
Mm.
change too.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we're tired.
But not
Everybody was
all white
tired
America.
of all the nepotism that was going on, and he was a young black man at that. Well, I think he's what 40 something when he got in there, right?
47, if I remember. No, yeah,
Hmm.
about 47, if I remember right.
Well, he's in his
Yep.
mid 40s, right? So
Yeah.
you got mid 40s as opposed to 60 plus. That was the
Yeah.
third thing. Remember, I told you 35 you can get voted in as president. Why we keep voting in these damn senior citizens?
Geriatrics.
You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Yeah,
So
but
with all that being said, he already knew an uphill battle with the Republicans being in seat because you notice he had black hair when he went in. He was great in the motherfucker when he got out.
That's
So
true.
Listen,
That's true. I'm gonna say this because, like I say, the man on the street, always got to bring that. I always got to bring that out. The man on the street always got to push back. And I agree with y'all. Yes, we voted for Barack Obama because he was black and because of what he said. And I totally agree with everybody what y'all say on the panel. So why do we? I'm talking about us Black Americans? 'Cause I'm one that does it.
mhm.
Why do we get upset when we hear white people or Caucasian or anybody else say they're going to vote for Trump? And because we just said what they're basically saying. I'm voting for Trump because Trump's saying what I want to hear. When Barack Obama was running, we voted for him because what he said it reached our ears, and because he was black. He say what we want to say. He's black, so I'm voting for him. He's not saying what he's not saying what I want to hear, but he's black. I'm voting for him. But we get
No,
upset. No, let me finish. Let me
yeah,
finish before you gotta say what you gotta say. But we get upset when we hear Caucasians or white Americans say, "I'm voting for Trump." I'm not voting for Trump because of what he said. I'm voting for Trump because he looked like me. So why do we get upset? I'm gonna start. We will start with Tim Dog on that. Then we're gonna go. We're gonna go to the professor. Then Pharaoh, you bring it up the rear. Go ahead, Tim Dog.
well, we didn't say that about George Bush.
No, 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 no. We're not talking about George Bush. Don't.
And
George
George
Bush is out
Bush
there.
is not okay, but
No, we're
George
not
Bush
talking
is
about
not
George. No,
Congress.
no, 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 no.
Listen,
Tim,
hold on.
Tim,
Let me
no.
make my point. Let me hold on now.
Okay.
Donald Trump. The reason why we say that about him is because of his character, the way he is. It's not because we get upset because he's white. Me personally, I don't care who you vote for, but he's an ass. He's only saying things that they want to hear. I call him Donald Trump, and
Okay.
I
Okay.
really don't like. I say
I call him.
45.
man,
I call him
celebrity in
45.
chief. That's who the fuck he is.
Eh,
All right.
but he's not catering to policy. He's not catering to anything but saying something so that people can admire him. He's an entertainer.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
He has no idea of what being the president is. He got in office, all of the tradition and ethical things went out the window. from the time he got there to the time he left, to the way he left.
Mm.
And he thinks that, oh, I got all this stuff here, secret documents stored in the bathroom. I mean,
Mm.
instead of okay, I got it. My bad. I didn't know. He gonna lie about it.
Mm.
That's a
Yeah.
right there.
Okay. Go ahead, Pharaoh.
All the other ex
No,
presidents,
no,
they
no,
had stuff and
Professor,
they
Professor.
admitted it. Didn't know. Not this
Yeah,
Okay.
guy.
Professor.
Oh, go ahead, Professor. My bad.
Yeah.
No, no, you're okay. I was just gonna say that my biggest issue with Trump, like you said, he was a celebrity who didn't know how to do a damn thing. Because most of the people that said, I'm gonna vote for Trump because I heard a rapper say his name in a song, or I'm gonna vote
Mm.
for Trump because he's a great businessman. But I'm like, what great businessman has filed bankruptcy 7 times and everything he himself has built failed? Trump
Mm.
Airlines failed. Trump States
Mm.
failed. Trump College failed. Trump
Mm.
this university. Trump charities. They are
Don't forget the
everything he tried to
casinos.
Man, you
build
forgot the 3 marriages, man. He failed in marriages.
marriages.
And
Everything
casinos
he tried to
in
build failed.
Jersey.
Now the only reason he
Mm.
still has the real estate empire is because that's the shit his daddy put together. That's the shit
Mm.
his granddad put together. But
Which he
Mm.
everything
about
he's
to lose.
including his fucking
Mm-hmm.
children is all failures. All of it. The man is not good at a damn thing. He's good at getting his name out because,
Mm.
and I've looked at this. Most of the names that his buildings are on, he don't own those buildings. They just gave him. He just owns the naming right to the building. He don't
That's
own the
true.
building himself.
Hey,
Like
hey, but did you
the
hear?
old Swiss Tower in Chicago when he bought it. He didn't buy it. He bought the right to put his name on it.
Name on it, but that's right.
Hey, but you heard
But
what he said in court. My name was worth more than what these assets say on this paper.
Mm.
That's
and
what he
Okay.
said.
they
That's
work dick
that.
because, like I said, he has nothing, and he knows he has nothing, which is why he overinflates everything. Which is why everything he does is, oh, this is the greatest. Or and I tell people all the time, if you listen to the man speak, you know he's about to lie when he says something is very, 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 or this is the most, or if he says they talked to me and said, sir, you know he's
Mhm.
about to lie. You know
Okay.
he's about to lie.
It's
Right.
sir, you're doing the country
It's the
really great.
it's the setup. Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Pharaoh. What you got to say
Yeah.
about it?
What was my man that passed away in Arizona? That
John McClain.
John
McCain.
McClain.
John
John
McClain. Yeah, I
McCain.
was gonna say
Yeah,
Bob.
Yeah,
John
John
McClain.
McCain. I said, hey, hold on, Pharaoh. I
Yeah,
said John McClain,
yeah.
but you know what
And
I'm
I
talking
and
about.
I
I've been drinking.
repeated yeah.
Yeah, you know I've been
John
drinking
McCain.
shit. John
John
McCain. Yeah.
McCain praised President Obama, even in when he was doing his little
Mhm.
thing in Arizona, whatever. He praised Obama. So that right there shows the character of Obama. Then when Obama was doing his town hall meetings, he was giving facts. He wasn't giving hope. He was giving facts of why things didn't work. With that being said, Donald Trump, I've never liked him since I told you all this already, man on the street. When he screwed up my man, the football player with that USFL out of
Oh shit.
Mississippi.
Oh, when he had the UFL partnership
You
deal.
remember because he was starting that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Marcus
Mark,
Dupree. Marcus
yeah, Mark.
Dupree, right? He fucked up Marcus Dupree football career, you know, and nobody ever thinks anything about that. Tupac has made references to Donald Trump being greedy. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Then when he gets it back, back, back. He's had plenty of interviews with that. With that being said, Donald Trump has a history of what he's doing or what he's done. People today only see him for what he's worth because he's famous. And then
Mm-hmm.
two, he's brought out what America, you know what America I mean, what they've been
Yeah.
thinking in the first damn place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they made
It doesn't
Yeah.
have to do anything else with any policies because the man didn't pass any legislature the whole 4 years he was in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dodged the draft.
With that
Yeah.
being said, he's only saying things because all you did was what was it when you just passed the passed laws? What is that called again? When you just
Legislation.
No.
when you just sign a
The
bill to say
president
that
Executive order. Executive
yeah,
orders.
order,
that's all he did was executive orders the whole time he was in, and then
Yeah.
he was doing pardons for every damn body,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you tell me what legislature he has done that has helped America get better. People talk about the inflation. Inflation goes by by yearly. That's a yearly thing that happens. No court, no president can control the inflation due to the economy. All
Yeah,
right. So you can't put that money on Obama. That's because that's what happened, you know. But
yeah.
you can say that Trump compiled greatly the American debt
with his
over
new
Obama's
tax
debt.
law.
Right.
I'm gonna say this, and like I said, I know you're probably tired of me plugging my Audacity podcast. Make sure you subscribe. But
Right.
I did a
But
video. I did a video. Actually did a video on my podcast when I talked about Obama. I talked about Obama because a lot of people say that Obama didn't do enough, and trust me, and I'm the first person to say that Barack Obama did enough for us as Black Americans. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
calling
You
us
know
African
why?
Americans. I'm not
no,
calling
we're
us
not African.
Africans
I'm not
Americans
African.
because we not from Africa. We born and raised here. He didn't do enough for Black Americans here in America. But I could have a subjective outlook on things. But actually did a video, and I got a good response. But I got a response from the other side, and they keep saying what Obama didn't do. But if you look at it, Trump came
He
in
couldn't.
with a good hand. He came in with a good hand because inflation was down, the economy
Yeah.
was up, the job market was up. But
Yes.
when Obama came in, we was in what was called a
A
recession under
recession.
George
Is a recession.
under
Yes.
George Bush. So
Yeah.
he already dealt a bad hand. And then what did Mitch McConnell say when Barack Obama
It
took
was
off?
When the
it was
secretary,
Do you know?
he said,
he was
"We're
a
not going to
one-term
do
president.
anything this damn president says." That was the
He said it
secretary.
was his
So
job
with
to
you
make sure it
saying
was a
that,
one-termer.
with you guys saying that, how can you say that a Barack Obama didn't do enough for Black America?
He
But
couldn't because his second
no,
year in
but
term,
that's
No,
what
no,
I'm trying to say.
I'm
and the
making that
Senate
point.
flipped.
No,
Flipped.
I agree with you because Mitch McConnell said, and these are his words. You can go back and look
Mhm.
at it on YouTube or whatever.
No,
He
I remember
said
him
that
saying that.
he said
I
that
remember.
we're gonna make sure that Barack Obama is a one-term president. That's what he
Exactly.
said.
Oh
That's what he
yeah.
said. So he was already behind the eight ball. But
And
Yeah.
in spite of those people, he did what he needed to do. Now, did I think that he should have do more for? I'm just speaking for me. I can't speak for the brothers on this
he
panel.
couldn't. He
Did I
couldn't.
think he could have? Yes, he could have because he could have did some executive orders just like Trump did. Hey, I don't
Yeah, but
need
you
hey
can
the
only do
Senate.
executive orders for certain things. You can't
No,
use
you can do
executive orders
executive
to
order
change
for
the
any
law.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no. That's not true.
Yeah.
You can do an executive order for anything as the president.
That's right.
Look it up. You can look it up all you want. You can look it up.
No,
Tell me if
that's
I'm
but
true.
you
wrong.
can't.
You could do.
No,
You
it's
could
in.
do. No. You could do an executive order for anything. If the Senate and the Congress don't agree on something, you could do an executive order say I'm gonna make gas 99 cents. Ain't shit they could do about it.
Yeah.
I'm
And
telling you.
it's up to the
But the thing is,
predecessor to follow it.
they could
But
do that, but will it happen?
but
That's the
but no.
difference.
But what I'm saying. But what I'm. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'll be the
He
first
didn't do
one to
executive orders.
no, I'll be the first one to say that he didn't do enough for Black Americans in America. But that's just me. That's just me.
Ah, yeah.
But but he was put behind the eight ball because the people in the other houses didn't want to go along with him. Just like they didn't want to do health care. Everybody in America should have health care. I
Yeah.
don't give a damn.
Absolutely.
If you were sick,
I did research on that.
it's two
I
things.
did a paper on that.
It's two things in America that I think that every American should have: health care and
And a
education.
car.
You
What do
shouldn't
you
have to
think?
pay for it.
What do you think?
That's a quick fix. Just
And
like I think in Germany, everybody goes to school for free. King, I never been to
Hmm.
Germany, but I think they go to school for free, right?
Yeah, I told you that. I told you
most
that.
No,
most European
I'm okay,
countries.
but and they got health care, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
So
The
everybody in
federal
America should have health care. We should not have to pay. We should not have to pay as Americans to go to the hospital or get an education.
most
And
of those
that's
Right.
I
Most
will
let's piggyback off
I
that.
will if I was running for president, I would make sure that would be into law, education and health care, point blank.
well,
But
see,
And I
now,
agree with you.
thing that
I
always
know I
kills
agree with
me
you. But
is
well, with that being said, the American our Congress doesn't want a Europe. Okay,
I got
even though that we have European tendencies, they don't want a European system. and that's the
I got
reason
that.
why the things you
I
just said are not, is not going to happen here in America.
but no, it goes back to what the professor said. He said it's because of the lobbyists. Because the insurance company, if you do something like the insurance company not gonna get paid.
Yeah,
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
I know capitalism has killed it, and I got
That's
that.
right.
But even
That's
in
right.
Europe, they have a 9-party system
Yeah.
from being just a 2-party system. So you
Exactly.
have more
Exactly.
voices
I
for the
agree with you.
people.
Now let me say, because I call him my main man Trump. This is my main man Trump. And I'm gonna say this, and a lot of people
That's what I thought.
they don't like me saying this, but Trump is out for Trump.
Oh
Trump
yeah.
don't care about you.
Yeah.
Man, we
What?
know
Yeah.
He
that.
he don't care about you.
Do
Only
that.
thing Trump care about, just like when he signed that, whenever he signed the executive order, what the first thing Trump do? He take it and he put it up like this so you can see his signature, and he moves it around so you can see it. It's all about the camera. Just like
That's
the
like
professor say, it's all about the camera. It's all about the camera.
Yes,
It's all about being known. Trump only
that's
care
right.
about Trump. He only care about his
Exactly.
name, because nobody is talking about. I hear a lot of people talk about Biden's son. Where was the Biden's son? They say he got the money from Australia or
Hunter,
someplace like that.
Hunter Biden, to my Hunter Biden.
Hunter.
He
I'm talking about
got it
Trump.
from a
Yeah,
Chinese company. He got it from a
but
Chinese company one. Then next week he got it from a Russian company called Burisma,
yeah,
and that's what they talk about.
yeah, but
That ain't
nobody
true.
says, but nobody says nothing about Donald Trump son-in-law getting what all those billions of dollars from the Saudis though, did they?
From the Saudi monetary fund.
But exactly, see, that's what I'm saying, and what it is to me with Trump, and I say this. If you watch the Audacity podcast, yes, I'm plugging my podcast again. If you watch the Audacity podcast, I talk about that. Nobody wants to
Mm-hmm.
talk about how Trump enriched his family,
Mm-hmm.
Ivanka and her son-in-law, but yet they want to bring up Hunter Biden when
What? That's the
Biden
distraction.
wasn't the president. Biden wasn't the president when Hunter Biden was doing those whatever shady deals, allegedly. And we don't want to get
Mm-hmm.
sued because we ain't got no money. Allegedly, those dirty deals. He wasn't
You
president,
know,
but
what a man on the
but
street. You
Trump,
know, this narrative changed once they disproved the Hunter Biden shit. Now they're trying to move to James Biden, Biden's brother, paying back a $200,000 loan. Well, who pays back a $200,000 loan? People other than Trump who have integrity who pay back their fucking debts. That's
yeah,
who
Bob,
pays back
Bob
200,000.
Menendez.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Or Congressman
hey,
Menendez.
and I'm glad you say that too. And I'm gonna go back to Menendez too. I'm glad you say that, Professor. You hit it right on the head, because what does Trump do? What Trump does is that he get all the stuff done, and then he doesn't pay because he has the money to starve you out.
Mm-hmm.
The local man can't go against that. He can't go years and years in litigation to get paid. And Trump does that. And that's why I keep telling people, I just don't understand. I just don't
People want to do
understand why
business
people
with
are
him.
so no, I just understand why people are so enamored by him. And it goes back to what Pharaoh said though. Trump is saying what people actually
Want to
feel.
see.
And and,
Let,
and,
let me
and
let
this
me
this
let
is
me
coming
add to
from
that.
this
Well,
this
Let
is
me
coming
add this though.
this,
saying
this,
what broke
this
people can afford
this
to
is coming
do.
from the man. This is coming from the man on the street. I'm gonna say my name. This is coming from Charles Jenkins. I'm not talking about the professor. I'm not talking about Pharaoh King, and I'm not talking about Tim Dolphin B. Moore. This is coming from me. Trump is saying the things that the average white people want to say, and they don't want to say, and I'm saying the word because they consider us to be a nigger. He's saying it in a way that they totally agree with, because
Mm-hmm.
they know if they was come to me and say the same shit that Trump was saying, and call me a nigger, I'm gonna slap the shit out of them.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
still living in a time frame when we were not able to look a white man in the eye or do not talk back, because if you
That's
did, you
right.
probably get lynched. And he's saying the things that agree with them. And that's why I lost a lot of friends. That's why I don't talk to a lot of people, because if you have the same ideology that Trump has, that's telling me you look at me as less than who you are. Yeah, I'm
Briefest of a
saying.
man.
Yeah, I'm
Briefest of a
saying.
man.
It's
I'm
why
saying it. I'm saying,
it's
and
why
that's
they
why
can't.
I'm not
If you
speaking. I'm not speaking for nobody else on this panel.
fans,
If you watch this video, If you watch this podcast, this after show podcast, all ashed out, I'm talking about you. If you wonder why I don't say nothing to you, it's because of your ideology. If you agree with Trump, so if you agree with Trump, you looking at me as less than who you think I am.
It's
And
why when you ask them, when they say MAGA, make America great again, and ask them
when was America great for the black man?
Everybody, they can never answer it. And what point in
They
time
can't.
do you want to go back to? They'll never answer. They'll never give you a definitive answer because it's a meaningless term. I tell all these Trump voters, you fucking idiots fell head over heels for a slogan and a fucking red hat. That's it.
Exactly.
And
Exactly. Hey,
you
I
know,
don't want to keep
before you
it.
say something, Ministry, hold on. If you go look at what's the movie with my man who's portrayed in Chicago, the Fred Hampton. If you go
Oh,
look at Fred Hampton's movie and watch what Fred Hampton did with those with the Caucasian folks in that meeting, it made them understand and realize what we're talking about today. And that's when the government knew that he was too strong when he can make white folks understand exactly what we're talking about. Then we could get through a lot more people. But a lot of people, they're hard headed. They don't want to hear that shit.
okay. I got you. All right, now we about to sign off because we push another hour because we could talk about politics. Hey, see, Professor, you probably say, "God damn, these brothers are deep." I know you probably say, but you see our podcast. Like I say this before. Yeah, we could talk about the ignorant shit. We could talk about stuff that's because everybody we want to entertain people, but we also could talk about serious stuff that's close to our heart. And a lot of people need to hear this. They need to hear that we can be articulate in what we trying to talk about. So before we sign off, hey, I'm gonna start with you. I'm gonna give you two, Professor. What you want to say to the people before we sign off on our after show asked out? What you want to say to the people?
I just want to let everybody know, go love somebody. Even if it's yourself, go love somebody.
Yeah, give him a hug.
That joke would say kumbaya. God damn, I wasn't expecting that. But God damn, I hear you, brother. Tim Dolphin B-boy. What you got to say to the people?
Adabo, peace be unto you.
Okay, then.
Man, what language is that?
No.
Swahili.
Oh,
No, peace be unto you, but he done make Muslim on me. But go ahead, Farrakhan. I hear you, Farrakhan. Go ahead, go ahead, Pharaoh King.
Hey, here we go. To be a Negro in this country and to be relatively conscious is to be in a rage almost all the time.
That's
Yep.
right. Mm. And all I gotta say
That's
is
James
this.
Baldwin again, baby.
Yep.
All I gotta say is
Eagle
this.
signal. I forgot about that.
All I gotta say is this. As a people, we must educate those that don't know. Even if they don't want to hear it, sometimes you got to let them know that you need to hear it. And if they don't want to hear it, hey, sometimes you just got to move on because eventually you're gonna find that person. That one. It's only take one person for you to make a change in their life. And
That's
so
right.
so my brothers, all I gotta say is what y'all doing, keep doing it and keep pushing it. And we are Two Cigars in a Blunt podcast. And this was the after show asked out. And we'll see you when we see you, and we are out. Peace out.